from side government, that they try to sweep all our arguments under the carpet by just saying that these people are consenting to it, they are voted in, so that is fine, right? We think that this whole idea of voting in and consenting to it is not really happening, and it's just a false image that they're setting to the nation. But now let's look at what was their problem in the debate. They see that things are coming to a halt, nothing is working, that is why we must push forward to this Hunger Games concept. But we've told you from the get-go, if the reason why these things are not working is because they are resulting to war, and we don't think that that is fine, and we think that these talks should be other alternative, not another form of war, which is the concept of Hunger Games, right? Even if one person dies, we've shown you how the concept of the sanctity of life and how the government values your life so much, and even if one person's life is so important, and how even if not everybody is going to die, but one person is going to die, the value of that life should be upheld, right? So the problem really, when there are other alternatives to solve the problem, when peace talks have worked, when we've shown you so many alternatives, why not result to it? That is what they fail to answer, right? Now let's look at the three clash points in today's debate. Firstly, and the major one, do they really consent to this or not? They said yes. Why? Because people will volunteer. People will agree to it because society thinks that they have to. Secondly, they talk to us on how people will sympathize more for one person. Ladies and gentlemen, the very fact that they feel that they need to, and they have to, and they are obliged to because society wants them to, and not because of their intrinsic want and need, that is the reason why they won't fight for their country, but they will fight just so that they win the thing, right? We feel that that is not the thing that we want. We want nationalism. We want the pure thing that's coming from yourself to fight for your own country. So we feel peace talks is the best alternative here. Firstly, they will do it out of fear and out of the conditioning of the society, so no real consent will happen. That is what we've been telling you from the beginning. Secondly, we've shown you the idea of how war is when they consent to it and Hunger Games is not when they consent to it. We've just shown you a parallel. That doesn't mean we agree to war, right? Now let's look at this idea of people sympathizing. We've shown you that the only people who will sympathize for you is a minority. But even if at the bigger picture, compare a war to Hunger Games, right? We feel more people will sympathize to war because why? Now more people are dying compared to one person. Because if one person is dying, I wouldn't really care for that person, right? It's a natural basic instinct. So under that clash point, we feel that we take today's debate. Now let's look at the second clash point. The thing that talk about is equality. How now you monitor the war, right? How now you really know who is the real winner. We feel that there's no such thing. Why? Because from PM, she's told us that media, there won't be any media involvement in this. How exactly then are you going to know who the real result of it, right? Secondly, we've told you that there's sponsors in Hunger Games, where if they vote you in, they'll of course sponsor you and arm you with equipment. So is there really equality? Because if you're rich, you're going to win the game anyways. Third clash point, who saves more lives? Ladies and gentlemen, we don't want war. We want peace talks, right? They say they'll save lives compared to war. But will they save lives, more lives, compared to peace talks, right? We think no. We think that they haven't given enough substantiation and analysis to this. That is why we take that argument also. Now let's look at the things we talked about and they haven't engaged with. The accountability of the government. Why must one person suffer for the government's actions, right? Why not make it something on a voluntary basis? Why not the leaders solve the problem themselves, which they haven't answered? Secondly, on the mindset of the society, on how it's the society's mindset that you have to change, and not just by killing one person, you won't solve that problem. The thing we're talking about, the sanctity of life, and how the government values it so much. Fourth thing that we show you, the right of distributes, right? And how they have the right to save their own life. The fifth thing that we're talking about is the criteria to ban certain things when they are harmed and so on and so forth. With that, we take the